Here we go.
All right. Are we ready? We're in presenter mode.
And speaker. And are we live on Facebook?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
All right. We ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Can we stop sharing screen? Thank you. Okay. All right. Welcome everybody to She Means Biz 3.0 night number 2. And tonight is all about branding. All about branding. So happy to be able to do this year. Even though it's virtual, I think it's turning out to be really good. And those people that maybe would not have been able to come in person are able to show up here each night, and it's a great thing. I do want to say that this year we decided to charge for the conference because we wanted to do something to help our community. So we are still raising money for Feel Abundance because we want to help feed families during these trying times, and especially during this holiday season. So you can click on the link, it's on the post, and you can donate if you choose to. Those of you who've already donated, thank you so much. We love this, and we'll be keeping the link alive all the rest of this week. So thank you for your contributions, and thank you all for being here. I'm going to pass the mic to Miss Majette.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you so much for everyone for being here. You could have been somewhere else doing something else, but you decided to be here. And for that, I'm truly, truly grateful. I want to take a moment to give a shout out to my partner in crime, Tiffany. This is our third She Means Biz Conference. And like what she said, the shift this year is that it's online and we are not charging for tickets. And this is for the Feel Abundance. I also want to thank Jessica Sauerween is our Diva Girl event coordinator. Without her, we wouldn't be as calm as we are right now. She's amazing. And another team member of Diva Girl, Sophia. She is our Diva Girl creative director who created all the flyers and emails and many things that help us do our job, the part of our job that we truly love. So our team members, thank you so much. And I want to thank Robin and Sasha for being here tonight too as the speakers. So the intention for the conference is to inspire and motivate women to not give up on their dreams and goals despite of what's happening in the world, the uncertainties that we have, right? So Tiffany and I gathered amazing friends and speakers and Diva Girl members to empower and educate women all over the world who wants to start their own business or grow their business. And tonight, like what I said, we have two amazing ladies to give you a lot of information about branding. So Tiffany, please introduce our very first speaker for tonight.
Absolutely, I would be happy to. So as we've said, it's all about branding tonight. And the first wonderful, marvelous woman who will be sharing her information with us is Miss Robin Graham. She is the host of the Second Phase podcast and enjoys speaking on the value of brand marketing and personal branding. Using the power of brand strategies integrated with visual storytelling, Robin Graham helps business women and entrepreneurs discover clarity and confidence, connect with and grow their audience, and attract more clients. Robin's work includes brand marketing strategy, personal brand coaching, visual content development, professional headshots, and fine art photography. Whew, that's a busy woman. Her signature, the Brand Marketing Insider Program, is highly customized, done-for-you brand, building experience that combines her expertise with that of a team of vetted professionals to build comprehensive brands. And with that, tonight, Robin will be talking about discovering clarity, confidence, and connection with your messaging. And Robin, you have the floor.
Thank you, Tiffany. That was quite the introduction. I truly appreciate it. I am going to share my screen and pull up my slides. Let's see here. There we go. Let me go back to the very beginning. There we go. As Tiffany said, I am Robin Graham, and I am a brand strategist, and I am a personal branding coach. So I help women, female entrepreneurs specifically, develop their clarity, confidence, and connection with their ideal audience. I'm also host of the Second Phase podcast, and I would love, love, love for everyone to listen to it if you so feel inclined. So tonight I'm going to talk about finding clarity and confidence with your personal brand. So we live in a digital world, and if you think about this digital world, it's like an online puzzle. And the thing we don't want to do is be like Waldo and be lost in that crowd and having no one being able to find us, understand what we do, understand who we serve. And that happens when we don't differentiate ourselves from others in our audience or our competitive field or our niche or our area of expertise. So let's start with a personal brand. A personal brand is your opportunity to differentiate yourself. It's the perception that others have of you. It is someone's gut feeling about the products and services that you offer. What a personal brand is not, it is not what you say it is. It's not what you say you are or who you are or what you do. It is what they think and say about what you do and who you are. So to differentiate online, you must first have clarity around your personal brand. Clarity is going to lead you to confidence. And when I'm talking about clarity and confidence, it's not only going to lead you to clarity and confidence, it's also going to lead your audience to have clarity and confidence. With confidence comes trust. When you are confident, you are going to trust yourself more, believe in yourself more, and then your audience is also going to trust and believe in you more. Clarity is important for, number one, resonating with your ideal audience, building a genuine connection with your audience and those people that you want to serve, building trust with your audience. And the one thing I want to define is if your content is speaking to everyone, because you don't have clarity, you're really speaking to no one. Without content that connects with your ideal audience, you can't build trust. Without trust, you can't build relationships. And without relationships, you cannot convert your audience to be clients just. So personal branding is differentiating. It's building trust by differentiating and then communicating your unique ability to serve your audience or your clients and to solve a problem. You have a gift is unique to you, and you are meant to work with a certain group of people, a certain audience, a certain group of clients. And you do that through sharing your unique abilities to solve a specific problem that those people have. So if you want to differentiate, you have to have clarity. You have to have clarity with what you do and the people you serve. It really and truly all comes down to clarity. So here are 6 elements of the things that you can do that you can really evaluate to find clarity so you can differentiate yourself. Let's start with your niche and your services. So if you are multi-passionate, don't let the word niche scare you away, because you can niche down if you are multi-passionate. The most important thing is that you know where your visions, values, and passions align. And that area where they all 3 align is going to become your unique power. It's going to be your superpower. It's going to be your niche. It's going to be where you're the most fueled and where you can best help your audience. So it's very, very important to identify what that is so that you can very clearly communicate that to your ideal audience. Let's talk about your audience. You have to know who you're speaking to. As I said before, if you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one, because no one's going to hear you. You're not going to resonate with with the people that you really want to resonate with, those people that you know you can help. So it's really important to really hone in on who that audience is, so much so that you even name them. You know everything about them. You know what their biggest problem is that you can solve for them. And only you can solve for them the way you solve that problem. The location, where do you live? Are you in completely virtual business, all of your work and coaching and consulting or whatever it is that you do online? Or are you in a local area and do you have competitors? Are, you know, like for me, photographers are on every single corner. So I have, from the photography perspective, some pretty steep competition. But I also have my coaching business that's online. So where are my competitors, and where are those people that I have opportunities to collaborate with, and where is my audience, and how am I going to reach them? Is it through local marketing and advertising, or is it online through social media platforms and online marketing? Pricing. When you talk about pricing, you don't want to undercut yourself. You don't want to have your pricing so low that you then become frustrated and hate what you're doing because you're not being rewarded for the time and energy that you're putting into your work and solving those problems for the people that you're solving problems for. At the same time, if you really and truly believe in your product, your service, and you want to charge a higher price, there is a demand for that. And sometimes people associate a higher price, higher quality. And that brings us to quality. Quality is very important. So what is the value that you apply to the quality that you're producing? And do you believe your product is a better product or service than someone else that's in your area of expertise? Because that's a way to differentiate yourself, for sure. And then we have our content, and our content is going to speak to who we are, what we do, and what makes us unique. And it's going to tell our audience specifically what makes us unique and how we can solve their problem in a way that nobody else can solve their problem for them. When you differentiate, you not only stand out, but your audience has clarity on what you do and the fact that you serve them and how you're going to serve them. So when you do have clarity and your audience becomes clear on what you do, you become recognizable, you become memorable, and you become shareable. When you become recognizable, your audience is on their way to trusting you. And when your audience trusts you, they're going to share you. Your community is going to grow, your referral source is going to grow and become larger, and you are going to become an expert and authority in your space. People buy personalities that they trust. They don't just buy products and services. Trust determines buying practice. So it's really, really important to have that clarity, to build that confidence, and then build that trust, because that is ultimately what's going to determine whether or not people hire you. So everything always comes full circle. So now if you think about it, you've achieved clarity on what you do, what you solve for your audience or your clients, and how you solve it. So now it's time to communicate clearly and consistently with your audience. So you want to create content that clearly differentiates you so that your ideal audience achieves that clarity, right? They achieve complete clarity and confidence in what you do and who you serve. That means your content is resonating with them. You are speaking directly to that one person that you've defined as your ideal audience. And that one person, for example, my ideal audience is a woman named Jules. And she has so many characteristics, but I am speaking directly to her when I am creating my content because I want to know that I'm resonating with her. So you want to be consistent with your messaging as well. And that's with the content that you present, the message that you're putting out into the world, as well as how often, how frequently, and where you show up. So it's a combination of those two things. But once your audience has found that clarity, they will become confident in you and trust you. Then connection is established. And once connection is established, relationships are formed. And it's that relationship building that is so key once you have clarity, because it's through those relationships that people are going to trust you and then share you. So again, we have clarity that leads to confidence, and confidence leads to connection. So in summary, I just want to emphasize that clarity is a two-way street. You must have absolute clarity in what you do and who you serve and how you serve them. And your audience must have absolute clarity in who you serve and how you serve them and the problem that you solve for them. So internal clarity, if we want to break this out into two parts, we have internal clarity. Internal clarity is you identifying your niche and following your visions, your values, and your passions so that you know the problem you solve and you know who you're solving the problem for. You've identified your ideal audience so that you know so about her. I said, you've named her. And then you differentiate yourself through your content, your message. This starts as early as you create your elevator speech, your I help statement. It goes across all of your platforms so that when someone lands on your website, they know exactly what you do and who you serve. Then they see you on social media, and your messaging on social media is consistent with what you have said on your website. And then throughout everything that you put out on every single platform you're on, there's consistency. They see your face, they recognize you, and they recognize you by the message that you're putting out. External clarity is related to your audience. So when your audience is absolutely clear on how you can serve them and that problem that you solve for them, you're going to create content that resonates with them. And so you're building that clarity for them. You are giving them everything they need through your messaging and your content and being consistent and showing up for them so that they truly understand what it is that you do and how you're going to serve them. That is it for my presentation. So if anyone would like to connect with me, you can find me on my website, which is thelrobingraham.com. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as The Robin Graham. And then I would love to invite you to my Facebook group, which is the Brand Marketing Insider. And then the podcast is the Second Phase Podcast. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I am going to turn it back over to Tiffany and Majette.
Thank you so much, Robin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm a big fan of Robin. You need to join her Brand Marketing Strategist Facebook group because it is full of tips and nuggets that you can use for your own branding and marketing as well. And the podcast is something that I listen to, and she has local businesswomen and also international and national speakers and business owners on her podcast. So definitely listen, sign up, and subscribe to her podcast. So what she was talking about is so on point about when people buy from people they like and trust, right? So if your branding is clear, consistent, and you're confident in delivering it, people just can't help but like you, just like how I like Robin, right? So I hope that you really enjoyed that because I truly enjoy it. And if you missed it, make sure that you watch the replay. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. We apologize for that, but we're still on, and this is happening, and we're gonna keep going. So this is what happens with live streams. So anyways, I'm gonna talk a little bit about myself. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Majette Reyes, and I am a mental health therapist. So I help people who are struggling with anxiety, depression, PTSD, and low self-esteem. But I am also the owner of Diva Girl. And Diva Girl is a membership community that educates and empowers women by hosting conferences like this, workshops, seminars, parties, and volunteer trips abroad. And what makes us different from other organizations is that we're fun. It's Diva Girl. So if you want to be a part of a diverse, supportive, and fun group of women to connect and cultivate relationship with, join our community, join our tribe. We have the Diva Girl 411 Facebook group. Join that for free. If you want to be a Diva Girl lifestyle member and attend our signature events for free and host our monthly meetup, one of our monthly meetups, then go to our website and sign up to become a lifestyle member. And if you are a female business owner or a budding business owner, become a business affiliate member, a BAM. Robin is one of the BAMs. Tiffany is one of our BAMs. And be promoted to our network of 5,000 women all over the globe. Our volunteer trips, we've been to 5 different countries. And also, you will be a part of our mastermind group as well when you're a business affiliate member. And you can host events like this, conferences, and you can take over our Facebook group. And you get the support and the guidance, the mentorship from me, from Tiffany, from Robin, and all the other business affiliate members and the tribe. And again, Diva Girl is fun, supportive, and a diverse group of women. So sign up, become a member, or join our Facebook group. So thanks again, Robin, for your awesome tips. Now I'm going to give the microphone to Tiffany. No, actually, no, I'm doing the amazing introduction to our next speaker, Sasha. Now, ladies, Sasha is an amazing business owner who I met 2 years ago. She had been in a couple of Diva Girl events, and she has been a good friend of ours. So Sasha Farnetti is the owner of Fierce Boss Company, a branding agency that helps female entrepreneurs to create fierce brands and grow profitable businesses. Sasha works one-on-one with her clients in designing badass brand identities, creating stunning websites that sell, and coaching them to develop the brands of their dreams. She firmly believes that marketing doesn't have to be so complicated and is lit up by helping her clients simplify and strategize their way to more clarity, more confidence, and more customers. Tonight, Sasha will be telling us about your most powerful marketing tool, your brand. Take it away, Sasha.
Thank you, Majette. I feel like I'm in church every time you're on, girl. I'm just like, yes, yes, yes. I adore you. So thank you for that intro. I'm excited to be with the Diva Girl fam tonight, talking all about your brand, which is your most powerful marketing tool. And I'll tell you guys before I start sharing my screen, or I guess I can share that now. A lot of this is familiar to what Robin said, which I think just proves the point that your brand is so incredibly important. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. And just want to make sure you guys are seeing that. Can you give me a head nod if you got that up? Okay, awesome. All right, we're going to get this out of here. All right, so let's start with this. First of all, let's be clear. Your brand is not your logo. A lot of times when I'm working with clients initially in coaching or just having consulting calls, they say to me, well, what do you mean? I have a brand, I have a logo, I got it on Etsy, or I designed a DIY in Canva. I should be good, right? And the truth is, no, your brand is not your logo. We want to start off with that tonight. I am going to get into the difference between brand and brand identity and branding, because those terms are thrown around and I know that they can be really confusing, but we're going to start here. We're also going to talk similar to kind of how Robin had her 3 C's with clarity and connection and confidence. I'm going to be talking about 3 V's. So I'm going to give you 3 steps that start with the letter V that is going to help you to get clear on your brand so that you can truly do marketing in an uncomplicated way. All right, move this down here. So a lot of people also say to me, but I thought my most powerful marketing tool was Instagram or Facebook or my website or my paid ads or my email list. So again, the truth is these are great tools and great tactics that can help your business grow, but it is truly your brand that is that golden ticket that is going to be the long-term business, the golden ticket to long-term business growth and profitability. All right. So before we kind of get into, more about, how you're going to use your brand as your most powerful marketing tool, we need to get clear on what the heck a brand is. Robin definitely covered some of this. I'm going to go a little deeper to give you the differences between brand, branding, and brand identity. So your brand is really those distinct perceptions, opinions, feelings, and thoughts that people have when they think of you. So when people think of fierce boss, I want them to think of someone bold, someone badass, a brand that's not afraid to kind of show up as, whoever she is authentically. And I always tell my clients, this is fierce boss, this isn't soft boss. And that's part of my brand messaging of really just kind of showing up raw and real. Branding, on the other hand, it's an action-driven process that helps you to build awareness and your brand's reputation. So branding can be kind of pulling all of those elements together of your brand. It can be setting up your website or your email list, your ads, or what your Instagram aesthetic eventually kind of looks like. All of those pieces come together because they're action-driven processes that help you to actually put out what your brand is into the world. And then a brand identity that's where, your logo comes in. So visuals and expressions of your business, including your logos, your colors, and your fonts. So again, ladies, your brand is not just your logo. It is actually all of these things and so much more. The ultimate goal with your brand is to have something distinct, specific, and cohesive. And these elements, we want them to be recognized, remembered, and trusted. So 2 key words that you definitely heard from Robin's presentation: being remembered and being trusted. Those are so important as you're thinking about how do I do marketing. So a lot of times when I meet with new clients or hear from, budding entrepreneurs or people who are looking to kind of redefine their brand, they say, oh, well, I'm doing everything. I'm posting every day. I'm on stories. I've got a website. I have an email campaign, but for some reason, I'm still not getting customers or I'm still not getting clients. And a lot of the reason why that might be is because brand can be confused. So we're going to get into my 3 steps, my 3 Ds, how to unconfuse your brand. But the reason that, you might not be seeing those conversions is because you're not doing those, you don't have that foundation to really build trust. Again, something Robin talked about. It's trust that enables that connection. It's trust and that consistency of your brand elements that enables that potential customer, that ideal customer, to say, you know what? Sasha really gets me. She completely understands what my problems are. She knows exactly the transformation that I want. She understands not only what I want from like a product or service offering, but how I feel. You know what? I'm going to give Sasha my money. That is ultimately the feeling that we want all of our customers to have, of course, with our own businesses, that trust enabling connection and that connection enabling that much easier sale, no matter what your product, service, or offering is. So truly your brand is so incredibly powerful because it has the ability to build those really key sentiments within your ideal customer or your ideal community. So let's kind of play a little game here. Now, I can't see everyone who's on the Facebook Live, but this is a great way to really conceptualize brand and the power of a brand, okay? So we've got Walmart versus Target, Nike versus Adidas, Whole Foods versus Trader Joe's. These are brands that we all know, and each one of us might kind of fit into a different category in terms of where we decide to spend our hard-earned dollars. I didn't mention that I'm almost 31 weeks and very out of breath all the time, so bear with me, folks. But these, like I said, each one of these represents a different kind of brand. You might feel a different emotion thinking about going to Walmart versus thinking about going to Target. You might choose to spend your money on clothes or choose Nike because something in their messaging or something in what they stand for resonates more with you all versus Adidas. And same thing with Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. No one of these is worse or better than the other. But if you can kind of think about, oh yeah, you know, I'd rather go here or buy from there, you can now start to realize the power of a brand. When your branding is consistent, when it's remembered, recognizable, when it works for you to build trust and connection, that's when you're ultimately able to influence the right people to come to your business and truly help you grow your business. All right, so how the heck do we do that, right? All of that sounds great in theory, but now let's really dive into the questions that you need to ask yourself in order to grow your brand. I'm just checking my time here. So I'm all about the 3 V's. I swear if I could, I would get it tattooed on my forehead. My mom probably wouldn't like that. She doesn't like the rest of my tattoos, but I am so passionate about teaching these 3 V's because it truly simplifies the whole, how the heck do I figure out my brand process? These are foundational blocks that are going to help you to have a profitable brand because yes, honey, your business should not be a hobby and you deserve to get paid. So let's get into it. The first V is value. Now, sometimes people say like, you mean like core values? And the answer is no, not core values. When I say value, it's all about understanding the value that your brand offers its customers. So this value is how your brand or your company fills the gaps in the industries, or it's the experience that you provide, I should say, and the problems that you solve for your customers. So asking yourself these kinds of questions, like essentially, okay, the purpose of what are gaps that my brand fills in the industry, whether I'm in fitness, beauty, coaching, health and wellness, network marketing, whatever, how can I stand out and offer something unique to that ideal customer or ideal community? Also the experience, right? Your brand is an experience, and you want to think about what does that experience look like every time someone comes to my Instagram, has a consultation call with me, comes to my website, receives an email from me. And of course, most importantly, what are the problems that I actually solve for my customers, or what is the transformation that I provide? This is really key to understanding the value that you offer. By understanding your brand's value, that essentially gives you a head up or a leg up on knowing, okay, these are the kinds of things that I should now talk about or promote, whether it's using those tools we talked about earlier, like Instagram, Facebook, email list, website, whatever. Now, all of a sudden, I've got content, things that I can say, hey, this is what I stand for. Hey, this is what I believe in. And by doing that and by having that clarity, you actually are then attracting, again, that ideal customer or ideal community that either believes or aspirationally wants to believe and stand for the same things you do. Okay, the second V is the voice that your brand uses to connect with its customers. There should be a space there, ignore that. The voice of your brand is all about the personality. Brand or company was a person, how would they show up? What would they sound like? What would matter to them? So this is really about kind of tapping into that ideal customer or ideal community and consider how they're feeling. What I love to do when I talk with and work with my clients on figuring out their voice is really to talk about what is your ideal customer's psychographics. So if you guys have heard the word demographics before, that's like, age, kind of where people live, all those kinds of details. But psychographics is really about exploring, what do people believe? What opinions do they have? What perspectives do they have? When you can identify that in your ideal customer or your ideal community, now you can build a voice around addressing some of those opinions, perspectives, and beliefs. Because again, even though, a lot are solopreneurs or our brands represent us, we have personal brands, there's sometimes that, we need to kind of shift, not necessarily who we are, but how we show up in the marketing arena in order to attract that ideal customer, because we always want to be showing up in a way to serve our customers or serve our communities. So nailing your voice, nailing this second V, nailing your personality is going to help you to create that trust and create that connection we talked about earlier. All right, the last V is your visuals. So visuals are not just about looking cute or looking pretty. okay? It's about moving your customers to action. So once you figured out, okay, here's how here's my distinct value, here's my distinct voice, my distinct personality. Now I need to think about what is going to actually move people to action, to sign up for my course, to buy a product from me, to book an appointment with me, to, you know, work with me in any capacity. Know your customers' hopes and dreams, see step 1, and how to connect with them, see step 2 that we just talked about, is going to help you to determine what kinds of visuals are going to inspire that action. So is it photography of you? Is it, you know, bold graphics? Is it something that's going to be more warm, inviting? Essentially, what I'm saying here is, even though, again, a lot of people think branding is just logos and visuals, what I want to say is it's actually kind of one of the last steps you should be thinking about. You really want to get those other 2 V's figured out before you start thinking about, okay, now how am I going to invite that action in? All right, so my challenge to all of you, stop trying to do differently. You don't need to go and spend tons of money or tons of time trying to figure out all these different hashtags, or beat the Instagram algorithm, or invest in all of these tools and tactics that aren't necessarily going to work for you. What I challenge you to do is think differently about your brand's value, voice, and visuals. Building your brand station with these 3 V's is going to make the rest so much easier, because from this foundation, everything else can come. And again, to echo Robin's excellent presentation, that's what's going to help you to have that clarity, that confidence, and that connection with your customers. All right, thank you guys so much. I hope you learned something fun about branding and the 3 V's. And here's a couple areas where we can connect. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the share. Hopefully that was under time.
That was wonderful, Sasha. Oh my goodness, like you broke down so much. You and Robin are amazing. I love the 3 B's, the, you know, brand versus branding versus brand identity. I think that, you know, that's something that, you know, even I still get a little confused about. But then the 3 B's is the value, the voice, the visuals. I love how you package it all and make it so simple. So, you know, again, everyone that's watching us tonight, I encourage you, connect with these ladies. I'm going to connect with these ladies. I still need these ladies' help. You know, and that's the thing, like, you know, earlier Majette was talking about the things that she does. Yes, of course, we're both diva girls and we love being diva girls and sassy divas. Yet we also have businesses too. I created and run Cynical Education Solutions, where we provide K-12 online tutoring for students. And you have it where you can pay as you go, or where you can get subscription packages, depending on what your needs are. And the link is in the post as well. So if you are looking for tutoring for your child, reach out to Cynical Education Solutions, and we have the solution for you. Now, we've had Robin and Sasha to share a lot of information with us tonight. And so now we want to open the floor up so that people can ask questions. So Robin and Sasha, if all will go ahead and you know, share your video with us again so that you'll be on the screen. You know, are there any questions in the Facebook feed yet?
We don't have any questions yet, but you're getting a lot of loves. You have Julia Arnett saying, loving what Sasha had said about the values, voice, and visuals. Teresa McKim Fiola, great and clear content from both of you. From Druvy, you guys are amazing. Daniela Galdi, amazing. You're getting a lot of claps, a lot of loves. But I did ask them to post some questions if they have any. While we wait for those questions, go for it.
Okay, so either one of you all can answer this. When you're working with your clients, what is like some of the common mistakes that you find, you know, clients making when it comes to branding and marketing?
Great question.
That's a great question. Sasha, do you want to take the lead on the answer, or I'm happy to jump in?
Yeah, feel free to answer, Robin give my perspective as well. I'd love to hear.
Yeah. I think it's a couple of things. One, they start putting out content that they aren't clear on. And so they start out marketing or branding, marketing, all communicating about their business, and they're confusing their audience because they themselves aren't sure about what they want to say. And so then they're causing confusion instead of getting clients. So that's the number one thing that I would say I see. Now that's because people are coming to me to have me help them with clarity. The other thing that I see, and Sasha talked about this with the visuals, is that people aren't representing themselves. They're going with the thought that their logo is their brand. And without being the face of their business, they're not going to build that emotional connection. People aren't going to know who they are. They're not going to be recognizable or memorable, and people aren't going to trust them if they're hiding. So I always say number one is to have clarity, niche down, understand who, like I said, everything in the presentation, and then be the face of your business and show up, be on the homepage of your website, out page of your website, and at least once, if not twice or 3 times in those 9 squares of Instagram that come up every time you look at somebody's profile.
Love it. Robin, I tell you what, girl, respect. I feel like we're running very similar, probably attracting very similar ladies, but I couldn't agree more with that. And I would say, Tiffany, to answer your question on my side, what I see is definitely those 2 things Robin talked about, but also just this copy and paste mentality, right? Again, comes back to lack of clarity. So I don't know who I am. I don't know exactly what my message is. So I'm just going to copy and paste kind of what someone else is doing. Or again, I'm just going to focus on pretty Canva graphics, pretty Canva logos, these DIY efforts that look nice, but don't actually get results. So when I work with my clients, I really dive deep into their stories and kind of, essentially want to unpack who they are, because so much of our personal and professional brands really come from our own stories. I always say our brands are one of our greatest opportunities to share who we are with the world. And if we're hesitant to do that, then, we're going to default to that copy and paste mentality or to that quick Canva fix mentality. And our brands can be so much more powerful if we dig a little deeper. So that's one of the things I see quite a bit.
Very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. And I knew you all would have some great sound advice, because that's what your expertise in working with clients. I don't think we have any questions right now, but if you could, Sasha, could you break down real succinctly again the brand versus branding versus brand identity, just so that people really get that clearly?
Yeah, sure. So here's the deal. Your brand is what people think of you. That's it, right? It's the feeling that they get. It's what they think of you. So again, go back to that exercise, Target versus Walmart. We have different thoughts, right? Not necessarily about what their logo looks like. It's what we think of those brands. Branding is that action-driven process that really is going to build awareness and build a brand's reputation. So that's kind of all of the little things that go into having that brand show up in the world. And then brand identity, that's the pretty stuff. That's the logo, that's the colors, that's the fonts. Those are all those visual elements that make up, what we see when we actually see the brand.
Thank you. And you know what? We have a question here. It says, if you are pivoting with your brand, what are some important things to think of? And I'm just throwing that to either one of you ladies who want to share.
Are you looking at me, Sasha? All right, repeat the question for me one more time, please.
Absolutely. If you are pivoting with your brand, what are some important things to think of?
Oh, that's a good question too. So one, I would say, what are your goals with your pivot? Are you pivoting because you weren't getting clients? Are you pivoting because you weren't being fueled and you've discovered that your values, visions, and your passions align someplace else? So that would be the first thing. Because if you're just pivoting because you don't think you're getting enough clients, so you're going to try something new, chances are that's not going to work either. You want to make sure that whatever your action you're taking so that you have complete clarity in why you're taking that action, and then what it is that you're going to do that's going to solve a problem. Because if you don't have something specifically that you can do and solve so that you can with an audience that's going to hire you, then you're really not going to make any difference. So I would say really evaluate why you want to pivot. Now, if it's because you have found that you weren't aligned in your business, and so you want to pivot so that you are more aligned, you're more fueled, and you're serving a new population, or you're better serving a population, then I would start with, really defining and your new business model, but your brand as well, so that you can differentiate yourself now and re-identify yourself, and make sure that your audience that you've been speaking to no longer thinks you're doing what you were doing, and is clear that you've now transitioned, you've pivoted, and here's how you can better serve them.
Wow. That just like these questions and these answers definitely let me know, like, you all are so valuable and people need help in this area. And, because you can just like pull up Instagram, Facebook, and it's like flooded with, so many different things. And it's like, okay, well, what is that good thing that, you're looking for that sticks out? So with that, let me ask both of you, and I guess I'll throw it to you first, Sasha. Do you have any promotions or anything going on that people may need to know about right now?
Thanks, Tiffany. I wish that I did, but I'm about to pop with this baby, so I gotta slow things down a little bit, unfortunately, at this time. She's coming in January and kicking her way out probably earlier, but I am still taking on some coaching clients. I've got a 3-session coaching program where I really dive deep into value, voice, and visuals. Again, I'm going to probably get that tattooed somewhere at some point. And I've got a couple spots left for brand identity design. I'm not taking on any more website design until after baby girl comes.
Okay. Awesome. Congratulations on baby girl. Welcome to that.
Yeah.
Motherhood.
Yeah, I take some client calls where they're like bouncing babies and breastfeeding and doing the whole thing. And I'm like, that will literally be me in 2 months. I'm not ready. Just stay in for like 5 more years and then I'll figure it out.
You'll be ready. You'll be fine. You'll be great. Robin, any promotions?
I don't have a promotion right now, but what I would say is I would love to have everybody join my Facebook group, the Brand Marketing Insider, because I give a ton of free information there. It's a great community to not only learn, but to also share tips that you offer and share your business and ask questions of other people that are in the group. We do live trainings and it's just a fun place to be. So I invite everybody to come there. And I have coaching packages just like Sasha does. I offer brand clarity sessions, and then I have a 6-month coaching program where we dive much deeper into your entire business and your messaging and look at everything from your social media to your SEO to all that good stuff that behind the scenes we often let slack. And especially for people who are pivoting, there's a lot that you have to do to make sure that everything pivots along with you. And Sasha, I just want to say, don't worry, no matter what, you will be a great mama, because I was terrified when my first one was coming, and I was terrified when the second one was coming and the third one, but you just kind of do it somehow, I guess, by the grace of God. It all works out and they survive.
So true. So true. Well, I mean, I'm looking here on the Facebook post, and I don't see any, on the Facebook, and I'm not seeing any questions, and that's okay. I think that we pretty much came here and we delivered tonight. I'm not one who stretches things out just to say, oh, we did it for that amount of time. So, ladies, if you all don't have anything else to share, we can go ahead and close this out. It has been a wonderful day 2, or should I say night 2. I do want to tell everyone that is watching that we are going to, all night, we're going to be talking all about business basics. basics. So if you are somebody who's looking to start a new business, or maybe you make sure your business is really sound in what you're doing, maybe you're new to it, maybe you're pivoting, not sure, but we're doing business basics tomorrow. And tomorrow night we'll have Sherry Andrews, and she will be speaking about the 5 keys to launching a legally sound business. And we will also have Julia Armette, and she will be speaking about the 8P framework for online business mastery. So if you're looking to set up a new business, if you're pivoting, any of those types of things, tomorrow is the night to definitely join in again. I want to say thank you so much, Sasha, Robin, for being here. You all were awesome. Definitely going to be in touch because I definitely need to learn some more from you all. And I know we had a few technical difficulties in the beginning. So what we'll do is we will post the recording so you can see the full presentation for everybody and you don't miss a thing. And then you can still reach out to these wonderful ladies. And with that, we have 10 extra minutes in our day that we didn't plan for. And have a great evening and see you all tomorrow night, 6 p.m.